What is going on, guys? My name is Kai, and Quanger22 so I can track me down the PSN. Real quick, I do want to apologize for not having any content posted up for about the past week. I'm in the process of moving, and as you guys can imagine, it's a pretty big ordeal, taking up a lot of time. But regardless of that, we are back with the second installment of gameplay analysis, where I take my gameplay and use it as a way to give you guys some tips and advice on how to improve your own. So this is a little bit older game, but we're over on Berlin Wall, a little bit of domination, and one of the first things that I'm going to cover is maximizing your cover. So I'm going to slow-mo this section just so you can kind of see some of the things that I'm going to talk about in play. But you'll notice first off that I'm hanging back from those front walls, and there is a reason for that. It is basically maximizing the use of cover. So a lot of the nades, C4 in that case, everything like that that's going to be coming in, is if it's not right on that B flag, it is going to be just at those front walls. Nades, Nova Gas, noob tubes, flamethrowers even. So by hanging back, not only do you get to avoid a lot of that extra damage, even though I have flak jacket on, that C4 would have really hurt at the beginning if I had been right up there. You're also not the first target that comes into the sights when enemies round that corner. So the reason I throw that concussion right there, give myself a little bit more time, a little bit more cover as I leave that area. I don't get shot in the back. And yeah, so a little quick tip there, I guess. One thing I always tend to do, and you'll see right here, is I flank around from the B side to the enemy team's spawn side, in this case to the C side. And in right here, what I'm doing, the UAV got called in. I'll replay it again for you guys so you can see. There's that enemy showing up on the radar towards the back, and I want to see if he's moving more towards this side, if he's moving up, if he's camping in that back building, what's going on. And so that's why I'm hanging out there. You can also, if you guys didn't know this, which I'm sure you did, but pull up your pause menu and you will be able to see the entire map. So real quick, you guys probably saw what I did there. Big mistake was touching that C flag as I was running through. Unless you guys are planning on capping a flag point, you never want to actually touch enemy flags. All you're doing them is letting them know where you're at. And on maps such as Berlin Wall, where there's a lot of building cover right there where people are going to be camped out, like the guy that's showing up on the UAV, all you're doing is letting them know where you're at. So that being said, that makes this an extra stupid death, me running up those stairs. Yes, I avoided that claymore, but again, all I did was basically set the enemy up for a better position, give him a better situation to take me out in. And that right there, it shows the downsides of strafing. I tend to strafe when I fire a lot, which usually works to your advantage, but in that case, strafing outside of your cover is never a good thing. So again, just kind of being establishing yourself in the situation, something I've talked about before, and making the most of your cover. Your cover's only as good as as long as your body's behind it. Right here, the reason I kind of did a little 180 there was I wanted to make sure that after I set that claymore, that the enemy hadn't kind of pulled around the A side. They weren't running through B before I pushed forward. So right there, I obviously ran through the back of the enemy team's spawn, the enemy's area in general, and then paused for that UAV. Right there again, I should have been ready for that guy. I should have probably turned and thrown that cook nade up into that window, or at least dropped down to avoid getting taken out there, make myself a little bit harder target to hit. And yeah, so we're kind of back to square one, flanking around from our side to the enemy team's side. Got kind of lucky there. That guy was running around with Marathon the whole game. I don't know what was his deal, but let me hear where he was and to take the kill. So right here, just kind of outgunning that guy. I've got better cover than he does, and if I remember right, that guy wasn't playing that good this round. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to put anyone out, but here you can see I made the smart move. I ran around the flag, and even though I take that claymore hit, I'm in a much better position now to take this guy out. I've got the drop on him. I know he's up there, and yeah, so actually playing it smart that time. Right here, what I'm doing is I'm working up towards my kill streaks. I run 5, 8, and 11, excuse me, typically when I'm on domination. That's my preferred kill streak setup, and so I know that right here I can kind of take advantage of the way the spawn is going and hopefully pick up all my kill streaks. One thing you will notice is I'm running pretty low on ammunition, and I need to be careful. You notice my claymore got tripped earlier, and while I did get a double kill off the claymore, that does also mean that I don't have any either early alert or basically any defense set down at those stairs. So I need to stay up in this area for a little bit, kind of make sure I know where the enemy team is spawning. They're spawning in that back area, but there are some guys running around with ghosts, so I want to make sure that I'm aware and ready for them. I was hoping to pick up a gun here that was not a sniper rifle, but no such luck. So calling the Blackbird, since I know the enemy team is going to be gunning for me at this point. I've been killing a couple of guys here so they know where I'm at. And right here, horrible RPG. I should have been able to pick up that kill, but I finally have to just suck it up and pick up that sniper rifle. And you can see I'm playing cat and mouse with the enemy here. They know that I'm kind of around this area, and I know that I'm not that good with a sniper rifle. I am not Grizz, baby, so I need to kind of wait for my team to come up, pick up some guys so I can get a gun. Pick up an M14 right here, and I love this gun, but if I had the option right here, I'd prefer full auto. I'm like 1 or 2 away from my dogs, so I really want to pick them up. Don't want to sacrifice them just because I didn't have the gun I needed for the situation. And right here, get kind of lucky. This guy, a little bit of lag or something, but pick up the kill. And right there, I was just holding the square button, just picking up whatever that guy happened to have, which is the M14, because at this point, I've finished out my kill streaks. And while getting reckless isn't necessarily a good idea, I don't have as much to lose if I do. I've finished out my kill streaks, and if I die, it just gives me the opportunity to go and start another round of them. I don't know why I couldn't hit this guy to save my life, but he's a little bit distracted with my teammate's Huey that was up in the air. And this is actually a good time to talk about something else, guys, and that's the spawns. So obviously we've got them triple capped. You can see that. And you guys know how the spawn system works. It's the last lost flag in domination, or obviously if they had a flag, it would be there. It does it based off of where the enemy team, in that case where my team is at, but also it works on line of sight if you guys weren't aware of that. So by me running around through this area, you can notice I'm really the only one back here on my team. So there's going to be a lot of areas that I'm not looking at where the enemy has the potential to spawn, and I want to use that to my advantage. If they don't think that there's really anyone back here as they're spawning in, that's going to give me a better opportunity to take them out. Right here, I completely missed that guy as he was running through to the flag, but my teammate picked him up. And right here you'll notice we're all just kind of scrambling around picking up kills. Believe it or not, my team was doing a pretty decent job of keeping somewhat of a spawn trap going despite the fact that we had them triple capped. And I say that's surprising merely because this wasn't a team that I was playing with. It was just a random group of people. It didn't seem like anyone was partied up or anything like that. So I got kind of lucky, I guess. Every now and then you get put in a actually pretty relatively okay team in a pub. So finally pick up a full auto weapon, and like I said right here, we're just kind of getting careless running around. And this guy is apparently Grizz. I get no scope there, not too happy, but at the same time can't be too mad at him. A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill maybe, who knows. So game's coming up to an end here soon, so we're just kind of picking up the last few kills and everything like that. But what I guess I want to start doing is getting into the recap of what this analysis was about. First thing was cover maximization. Not only just taking cover, but using it to its fullest advantage. If that means cutting angles or using a little bit more distance, whatever it is, not just counting on the typical head glitches and things like that. Making the most of every little bit of cover you can. The second thing was flag points, making sure that you're only touching them when you mean to, not running around your corners and things like that. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to replay this whole section here, but so that, and then also calling in your kill streaks at the right point. You notice when I called in that Blackbird and how it helped me finish out my kill streaks. So with that, this has been Quanger signing out. Peace.